juvenile ones, they're ulua or giant trevally. I'm also seeing a fish, giant or a floating turkey leg. That would be our pufferfish. And if it if it's scared, it'll puff up like a big ball, fill itself with water, puff up. So our next set of reefs we're going to go see is, we call them the Japanese reefs. We got that creative name because we got them from Japan. They're actually structures used to grow seaweed, like the seaweed paper that you guys use to wrap in musubis or sushi. These structures grow them in Japan, but here the water is too warm and too salty, so it doesn't do very good for growing seaweed, but it's great for growing corals. So we're going to go make a pass. They're going to be on our port side first, so you guys are going to get a look at that, and then we will make our 180-degree turn and come by again. Over here on starboard side, don't worry, you guys will get to see one of our natural reefs here. It's called the Paleopono Ridge at 64 passengers. This submarine can go upwards of 800 feet deep, however, Coast Guard regulates us to 150. And it can do that by the 6 different thrusters that we have. 2 up here at the front, 2 at the back. Those 4 are our directional thrusters, forward, backwards, left, right. And then we have 2 in the middle. Those are vertical thrusters, make it so we can go up and down. Now, our sub maintains positive buoyancy at all times, so if all of our systems shut down, we would slowly float back up to the surface so we could get out. Kind of a little safety measure. But all of those thrusters combined to make a top speed of 3. That's right, we have a top speed of 3 miles an hour on this. And that's actually a good thing, because if we were to go any faster, we'd actually make too much noise and scare all the fish away, and then we wouldn't be able to see anything. Whereas with the small, slow speed, we can just kind of cruise right on by. That's also why it does take a little bit to make our turns. Fish that are black and silver with long pennant, those are called pennant butterfly fish. Not to be confused with what gill was on the Finding Nemo. Oh, I see some of our lowering going to go way here. I also see another pufferfish swimming through. And it looks like we actually have a couple of sharks out here, over here off our starboard side. You're gonna go right. Oh yeah. Right here. I see. So, fun fact about these white tips, you notice they're kind of sitting still. They're actually one of 5 species that can do that. Most other sharks have to be swimming constantly because they don't have an organ to pump the water over the gills. But these white tips here, they can sit still like that. And the reason they're sitting still kind of away from the reef is actually because those ulua, those bigger trevallies, they will actually come down and attack our white-tipped reef sharks and keep them off the dive site. Those ulua are so predatorial and territorial, they've been known to attack those. They've been actually known to attack some of our divers as they go down and come down. And they'll come up real close to our submarine as well. Also, we are now in our deepest part of our dive, and we have just hit 100 feet below the ocean. You guys are now the newest members of the Triple Digit Club. Only 1/10 of 1% of people can say that they have been 100 feet down. You guys are the next group in that category. While we're down here, we're going to see our next artificial reef, and it's going to be a set of airplane wings. We have one on each side. It's just coming into view here on my side, over here on the starboard side. And it looks like there's a nice shark kind of just sitting there under the wing, hiding out from those ulua. Yep, so here on our starboard side there is a shark hiding under that first wing that we passed through. And it looks like there's another one coming on this side.
When I was diving.
I'm not surprised the ulua just let him hang out. And then now there's going to be another one coming up on this side over here on the port side. You guys are going to get to see another wing. We'll see some more of those ulua or giant trevally. So they like to hang out here. The darker they are, the older and also get that dark when they're hunting. But the world record for those giant trevally, those ulua, was actually caught off the coast of Maui. They were brought here from Tahiti as a food source, because in Tahiti they grow nice and big and they're good and delicious. Here they didn't grow as big and they aren't as delicious. I see some more of our lauwili and white eating some of the coral up top. Now these ships were actually sunk down here by us. We moved them, we had them about 60 feet of water, and then yep, so this is the YO257. We will be turning around and making another pass. So those of you on the port side will get to see it. Those of you on the starboard side, or on the port side, you guys see another ship in the distance. That is the San Pedro. We will be making a visit to that next after we do a pass here. So it looks like we see a nice big school of those yellow blue striped snapper on the back side.
That is cool. Taking pictures of us, yeah.
So, as we make our turn to go past that reef again, anybody notice that you guys were wearing red? But as I'm saying, this is a very popular dive site because you can come down, hit 2 shipwrecks all on one tank and do it in one dive. And port side, you're going to take a look at our turtle. He's kind of looking up at us, kind of checking us out. They like to come down here to the ships because it's a good spot for them to wet themselves in and take a nap. Now, turtles are like us. They have to breathe. So they'll come down, take a nap, get clean, and then they'll be able to go up. The nap part, they can actually slow their heartbeat down to 1 beat per minute. And that makes it so that they can hold their breath for 3 to 4 hours compared to a human's 3 to 4 minutes. But while they're down here taking a nap, they'll get their shells cleaned by the fish and the reef fish, so that way they can get back up, because if their shell gets too dirty or covered in algae, they won't be able to come back up for air. So our next, so here we go past the San Pedro, and it looks like we do have 3 turtles hanging out here on the bow. As I said, they like to come down and wedge themselves under there so that they can take a nap and then wake up in the same spot. I'm also seeing some more of those pyramid butterfly fish and more of our millet seed. So over here on our starboard side, looks like we have a nice sized barracuda and then some smaller Heller's barracuda. Looking up. Turtle going upward, but the other 2 are still hanging out here, getting their shells clean, taking a nap. Time here as we get ready to disembark and